Oh yes, let's hear all about jury duty. Yes, that'll get us some subs.
So I um have you done jury duty before?
Not in a long time, not in like 15, 20 years.
So, but you have had the experience, like you
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, but when I was living back east though, so it was
Okay.
pre 2010. Yeah,
Okay. Well, what was the experience like for you?
it wasn't too bad. Massachusetts had a one trial, one day policy where you
Really?
would, yeah.
So
So
it
you
wouldn't
show
drag on
up.
like.
It would just be a maximum be of one day.
Interesting. So like
Yeah,
you wouldn't like have a day for jury selection and then the trial would begin.
right.
It goes
No,
on
you
for a
get
couple days.
selected and you do the trial that day, or
That's
you get
nuts.
selected. You get to leave. Then you'd come back and
Hmm.
you'd have a scheduled day that you were going to be a jury for a trial.
Right.
So it was
Okay.
actually It was actually pretty sensitive to people's schedules.
That's yeah. That's actually really cool because I mean shit. With my experience, it's just dragged. I mean, fortunately, so like I was set aside for the 7th to the 14th, but like obviously the weekend that weekend and Monday the 13th didn't count. So
Right.
that that was the potential for how long the trial might have actually lasted. But it started when I actually got the summons back in May. But I sent in like an excuse or whatever like that, whether it was like I'm not gonna make it. I'm going on vacation later on in the month, like because in May I ended up taking that Vegas trip. And I think it was by the time I got back because I just like didn't pay any mind. It's like whatever, I'm not going to attend. I think it was by the time I got back where I got like a letter saying, oh, your request for a dismissal or whatever to be excused was denied. It's like, well, shit. So I got a hold of them, and I told them what happened and everything, blah blah blah. They told me, okay, so July 7th is when you gotta come in and you take care of whatever. So, like, okay, so I figured I was just gonna go there and show up to just clear up those details basically, and then like actually see like when they're going to schedule me for actual jury duty. Turns out because I can show up in my work uniform, I take my work truck, just like fuck it, like I'll let my branch know, I'll let my work know, like, hey, I'm probably gonna be busy for the morning, just try to clear this up, like so just keep everything on standby for the day, see if any technicians can take my work. Show up, and according to them, it's just like, oh yeah, no, you're actually here for jury duty. You're here for the real thing. And so I'm like, well, shit. I got a juror number, a badge, and everything. And there, it ended up being 124 of us that were there for jury duty. And this is like in the middle of a city of like 320,000 people, but the county itself is like, I don't know, like half million people, fucking maybe a little bit more than that. Um, so I it ended up like getting reduced down because obviously they had the judge came out, explained everything, like if you need to be excused or have reasons where you can't be here financially, like you need to pick up kids from school, whatever, go to the clerk and they'll figure it out, whatever. So it ended up just being reduced down to 30 people. And so we make our way to one of the courtrooms, and they randomly selected 14 people. I happen to be one of them. So after like they did a whole like basically like an interview process. Basically, the attorneys there as well as the judge going through and interviewing the jurors to see like how biased you'd be or like if you knew anything about the case or the defendant. Um, excuse me, as well as your occupation, or if you've been to jury before, and all that. And after a little bit of musical chairs and getting people out of there who would have like been pretty useless jurors, finally settled on 12 people plus two alternative jurors, and it was a DUI case, and yeah, first impressions were, well, I mean, it's pretty dumb. Like with something like that, it's there's not really much contesting, it, especially if there's body cam footage and you brew it. Like the defendant, she had blown into the breathalyzer twice, and one of them, the first one was .09, the second one was .08, and so at first it was like, I mean, that should be like pretty cut and dry. What is there to contest?
Right.
But as time went on, and the prosecutor brought forth evidence, brought forth a witness, which was like the CHP officer that did the arrest, as well as a forensics analyst, like expert from the DOJ, basically, who basically nailed like to a T like what her BAC level would have been, because she had claimed she drank a couple White Claws, and the way she calculated it was like yeah, it makes sense that she blew that much in the breathalyzer. But the defense, they wanted to do basically like um, a test of the machine, like the breathalyzer, to see if it was calibrated right. And that's where it started to get interesting, because it started to seem like for a minute that, because they got the summary of the log of the testing, like how off is it? Because if it was off by a certain amount, it could have been like, oh well, like it's actually overestimating her blood alcohol content. But it ended up being the case that actually it was undercounting it. So
Ah.
yeah. After all the evidence was reviewed and whatnot, and this was like the first day. Um, I mean, it was a neat experience. Like we had an hour and a half lunch, and so there's this bar and restaurant across the street. So I would just go there during lunch and like have a couple drinks and eat fine ass food. It was actually pretty good. But it just dragged. Like I remember like almost falling asleep during the second part of the first day, the first trial. Like yeah, I mean, because the whole first day that was jury selection. So like the next couple days were the actual trial. But the last day, the defense actually pulled like a Hail Berry and got a guy from the University of the Pacific to come out and be like, well, yeah, I mean, I, he he seemed to know a little bit about alcohol and like people and like they and how people react with it, and like how much you can drink and still be okay, because ultimately the case was about buzzed driving, like impaired driving, not drunk driving. But yeah, after all that, they did their closing arguments, and go to lunch again, and fucking come back up. We figure out the whole jury deliberation thing, and the closing arguments, and the defense just did not have a good closing argument at all. Like it was just it just like it just fell on their face. It was
Please,
basically
please,
like,
please don't fuck us.
no,
Please give
exactly.
us the minimum sentence, right? That's what
Yeah,
Yeah.
sentencing ended up happening a couple days later, but the charges were I forgot to mention this at the beginning. The charges were driving. First one was driving under the influence of alcohol, and the second one was driving under the influence of alcohol with a blood alcohol content of 0.08 or higher. And so ultimately, like, it was pretty
That
much undeniable that both of those ended up being like we were going to charge guilty,
convict.
basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So um, we head to the jury
Convicted.
deliberation. Yeah, because you can't talk about the case at all. Like you can't
Right.
do any research on it. You can't talk amongst the other jurors. You can't tell friends or family. So when we finally get into that jury deliberation room and the bailiff leaves, we all finally get to sit there and chat about it. And but first we had to pick like a four-person, like a foreman or a forewoman, for the jury. Sit there like awkwardly for a little bit. I'm like, so, does anybody want to volunteer? And get like a few chuckles here and there, but no one really like sets forth. I'm like,
Yeah, everyone. It's a man. Yeah,
fuck
countdown to
it.
awkward.
Yeah.
So you
So
stepped up and did it.
yeah, I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Oh my god!
Literally,
Good
yeah,
for you.
yeah. Like I kind of
Good
knew
for
from the
you,
beginning that
dude.
like I'd end up getting to that point anyway somehow. But like, I mean, like, I just took the opportunity, I suppose, and it literally only took 10 minutes for us to discuss everything, and we
Yeah,
just
because it's all
basically
about the
agreed.
evidence.
Yeah, it was cut and
In a
dry.
case like that, I think 90% of most like law
Uh huh.
is just evidence. It's just what does the evidence prove, and if it doesn't, and if there isn't a sufficient evidence to prove guilt,
Hmm.
then and if you got good defense lawyers, you got a good chance.
Yeah.
That's I
So
think how our system works.
so the funny thing is, because like we would all enter the room together between breaks and whatnot. So that included the defendant, this uh, white chick who's a couple years older than me, and her attorney, obviously the prosecutor, which was the district attorney, and so like everybody would come together, so everybody knew like what the defendant looked like, and we saw like the body cam footage of the evidence and whatnot, and before we went to jury deliberation, we took a quick break. So I decided, fuck it, I'll just run down to the restaurant across the street and just grab a beer. I got like 15 minutes. Fuck it, I can do it. And I shit you not, I see the defendant down there too. Like just
Oh
briefly
my
as
god.
I'm leaving, and she saw me too. And so we get back up and like we basically figure out, yeah, she's guilty, and I get the things ready with a guilty verdict for both counts, and head back in like literally not even 10 minutes because they made it seem, the judge made it seem like we would probably we would have like all of the following day because this is Thursday, but we also have Friday and the following Tuesday to deliberate as well. But it was like no, like we're done. So we had to wait for everybody to reconvene and assemble. So they had to like
Oh no.
they had to fetch the defendant and get the attorneys from their offices as well. So we had to wait a little bit, but went in, gave the judge the guilty verdicts. They read it aloud, and just sit there awkwardly, just trying not to make eye contact with the defendant or anything like that. Because like, I did have some sympathy for the situation, like seeing the body cam footage and because when they did the field sobriety test and whatnot, she seemed fine. But like, I mean, it was just enough to the fucking CHP officer, I guess, to conduct the breathalyzer tests, and yeah, that's ultimately what happened. But like afterwards, I go back down to that restaurant again for just a beer. It's just like, damn, like I could have been at work this whole time, but whatever. It's whatever. And I shit you not, the defendant comes up and
Oh god.
asks like, "Hey, can I sit next to you?" And I'm like, "Sure, go ahead." And then we just start chatting about the whole case. We start talking about the whole thing, and like one of the first things she asked was like, "So I just want to know like what was it that ultimately led you guys to the guilty verdicts?" And I was just basically like, I mean, the evidence was pretty much undeniable, and there's no other way. Like if the charges were like slightly different, then like maybe there's wiggle room, but like no. But like I like some of us did have sympathy for you regarding the whole thing or whatever, blah blah blah. According to her, the public defender, because she was initially going to plead guilty. She was actually just gonna like avoid trial entirely, until she talked to this fucking public defender dude, and he convinced her like, no, you probably got a winning case here. Like you can take this to court and win it. Like it's only a point oh eight. You say it's like we like those machines, those breathalyzer machines. They're probably not even like proper.
Right, not even properly calibrated, right?
Yeah, and so like he gave her this false hope basically like the whole time, whereas she was already just like I'm just gonna plead guilty and get a what's called a wet and reckless instead of a DUI, and now it just ended up being futile because now that she went through the whole ass trial
Now
and
she's gonna
got
get DUI.
convicted guilty on both counts, she got the DUI. Yeah,
She's gonna get her license suspended probably for like a year or something.
I don't believe so. Okay, so we're chatting up more, and she's like, you know what? I mean, I was gonna have a celebratory drink or like a drink whether or not I was going to be like guilty or not. So like, fuck it. So we just sat there and just drank some more beers and just chatted about the whole experience, talked up a bit more, and
That's funny.
like I kid you not, because we were sitting there like maybe for like an hour, and asked what she was doing for the rest of the night, and she was like, probably gonna bar hop over to this hole in the wall on the other side of town, which I knew where it was. I was like, oh, that's cool, and because she was like gonna play pool, whatever. I'm like, can I come play pool with you? And shit you not, the foreman for the jury on the DUI case went and partied with the defendant.
No shit.
like we went to this hole in the wall bar and just like got some more drinks and whatnot and just partied it up. And like she's a regular there, so we got to tell the story over and over. So it's like, yeah, this is the guy that gave me the guilty verdicts. It's like, yeah, this is the chick that I gave a guilty
Convicted.
verdict to.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh
like,
my
yeah,
god.
it is a really neat experience. But according to her, she got her sentencing a couple days later, and I guess she has to do like 18 months of like DUI classes and whatnot. She can still drive, but she has to wear an ankle monitor, so it monitors like how much alcohol she drinks and whatnot. And it's just it was just quite a freaking crazy experience, dude. But with that, I don't have to go to jury duty again until 2028,
Nice.
and I even like because at the beginning I was like I could just get out of this, you know, I could say, oh, I'm too busy with work or I can't afford it, but I was thinking to myself, I can afford to be here. Like I honestly actually can, so I might as well stay. But like I'm in a group chat with my branch, my coworkers, and they're like, you should just say something fucked up. You should just tell the judge that you believe this horrible thing and that horrible thing. They will let your ass
Yeah.
go in a second. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Usually, yeah.
yeah.
That's
That's
the way
not
you get out of him. He's like, you tell him you don't believe in God or like you're an anarchist or something.
or like super racist, just shit like
Yeah, just
that, you
like
know.
yeah, exactly.
But I was like, no, I'm too honest of a fucking person, so I end up just like going through with it and everything.
No, it's
Um,
good. The system needs more people like you and me as being jurors.
right, yeah, I couldn't agree more actually, especially given through what I went through and all that, and like what I learned, because it really was like, um, it was like witnessing a play and like a class at the same time, because like I learned a shitload of things about how the CHP does his job, how field sobriety tests work, and what alcohol does to your body, and like how much alcohol does what, you know, and just a whole slew of things. Not to mention the way that the attorneys interacted with the judge. It's just a lot of it reminded me of like the various like TV shows or movies that like have like settings in courtrooms and like legal battles and shit. It was really interesting. But I did a little research and like I was wondering, well, am I getting paid for this? Am I getting paid for jury duty? And I uh, I thought it said, because the thing on the AI summary said, yeah, jurors actually get paid $15 an hour plus the mileage to drive. No, it turns out it's only $15 a day, and
Oh no.
that's only after the first day of the trial too. Just like fuck. So I gotta work extra to make up for it. But I mean, it didn't hurt me too much. Plus, I made friends with a chick that I gave a guilty
The
verdict to.
defendant.
So
Jesus.
yeah, just absolutely nuts. Really neat experience. But that was jury duty for me.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
man. Well, that was a hell of a story.
yeah, yeah.
I'm glad you told it. I didn't realize that it was such a an eventful jury. I knew you were I knew you. Well, you told me you were the foreman, but I didn't realize you had like this
Oh yeah.
whole fucking story with
I
this defendant. That's
I couldn't
hilarious.
I couldn't wait to tell either. Like I've only told it to a couple other people so far, but that was like, yeah, that was the gist of it, and it was a fun night. I ended like partying harder than I'm even used to as well. Played a bunch of pool, had the jukebox going, like had the touch tones thing on my app and whatnot. Just kept on feeding money into it. Yeah, it was a good time.
Nice.
Really unique experience, and yeah, I really needed it given how fucked up my week before that was. But yeah, good time.
Right on, man. Well, I think that's a good note to end it on.